We are under the lights as the show gets you ready for another edition of Major League Baseball. Coming up, we've got a good matchup in store between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Boston Red Sox. It's baseball on the show, and it's coming up next. Eduardo Rodriguez will be on the bump for Game 2 of the series. What do you have for us on him, Danny?
Hey, we're looking at a real solid starting pitcher right here. You take a look at that ERA, anywhere between 3.5 and 4. But I'll tell you what he does know how to do. He knows how to get people out, and he can minimize the damage. He knows how to control the running game. He does a lot of things right. And if he does all those things, expect a real solid performance in this one.
First delivery to him on the way. Bo Bichette is in to start things off as he looks at a ball to start the inning 1-0. Guys, this Red Sox ball club entering play here tonight. They have not been playing their best baseball of late as they've dropped 4 of their last 5.
Yeah, Matty, they lost their last game. It was only by 1 run. They should be able, those are the tough ones, but they should be able to put this one behind them.
73 degrees our game time temperature here tonight, and then it probably won't get a whole lot cooler than that. Too high, and it's 3-0. Pitch on the way. That one's in there, 3-1.
Finally got one over. Nothing worse than starting the game with a 4-pitch walk.
And he lays off, ball 4, and the leadoff man is on to begin the ball game.
Batting second, the third baseman, Vladimir Guerrero.
So digging in now, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. First chance for him here with a man on following the leadoff walk. From the belt, kicks and deals. Popped him up. Moreland near the first base bag, looks it into his glove, and there's one gone.
Batting third, the left fielder.
Now a moment as we take a look at the Jays starting 9 for this one. Dero, how do they lock up a series victory here on the road?
Yeah, Matty, without question right here. This lineup's been struggling. Some bad approaches at the plate from top to bottom. They need the first 2 guys in the order to ignite this offense if they're going to have a chance of breaking out of this malaise.
Stepping in now, Lourdes Gurriel as he'll look at a changeup that drops below the knees for ball 1. First swings for him in this one with a runner still at first and 1 gone. The set and the 1-0 pitch. Here's a fastball low, and he's behind 2-0.
He's having a really hard time finding his rhythm and finding the strike zone. It's going to allow this offense to keyhole him in big situations. He's got to figure it out pretty quick.
Now the 2-0. A swing and a miss. That's the first strike.
Hey, boys, you talking about getting your A swing off right here? That's what it looks like. A guy with massive power letting it eat.
The 2-1 home.
We're seeing a good AB here from the 3-hole hitter. If he can work a walk or pick up a hit here, he's going to put that cleanup guy in a really good position to do some damage in this first inning.
Doesn't want any part of that cutter, and it's full 3-2.
I think it's a real possibility that they put that runner in first in motion. That would help them stay out of that double play that would end the inning, but that's also kind of risky at the same time.
The 3-2 pitch. Lifted in the air toward the line and right. Almost into the short porch, but it's off the wall. And they'll have runners at second and third following the 1-out double.
This right here is the difference between an average hitter and a very good hitter. The average hitter probably doesn't do anything with that pitch, but this guy goes down and gets it, muscling it to the outfield for an extra base hit.
So that'll bring in Teoscar Hernandez. Swing and a liner. He dives, but he can't make the catch. It's a foul ball. Ball one, taken just off the inside. So let's take a peek at our umpiring crew in this one. Behind the plate is Gary Simmons.
D-Row, this Gary Simmons, he's the kind of umpire that pitchers really like to throw to.
Yeah, I'm okay with it, though, Dan. You want to go east-west, I'll make the adjustment. It's the north-south that'll kill you.
Into the corner and slicing foul. Bichette on third. Gurriel is over at second with one down in the inning. Easy take there as the off-speed pitch misses well inside. Got him.
This is a pitch I think we'll see a lot from him in this game. The cutter darting in on the hitters in the opposite batter's box. It can be a real effective pitch when it's located well, and that one was right there.
Randall Grichuk at the plate now as he looks at a fastball that's in there for strike one. His numbers against Eduardo Rodriguez. He's a .300 hitter, 3 for 10. Runners at second and third with two gone. Takes this the other way to right, and that's in there. Base hit, and the runs across to score, and the Jays will take an early 1-0 lead.
Boy, talking about picking your teammate up after that strikeout, D-Row. Big, and I mean big, 2-out RBI single.
Yeah, way to come through for your team. When you take the donut off your bat right there, you're trying to pick up your teammate. He had the right game plan, didn't come outside it, stayed through the baseball, and was able to come through.
Coming to the plate now, Travis Shaw. He carries the 8th best average in the American League entering play.
There's a lot of ways to get on base. Base hit, a walk, hit by pitch. This guy's in the top 5 on base percentage. He does a little bit of all of those things.
And he fouls this one off. Runners on first and third, 2 away. Changes up on him, but that's in the dirt for a ball. The 1-1. Nearly got the inside, but ruled a ball.
Hey, time to start making some quality pitches. He finds himself in a tough spot behind an account with guys on base.
Here's the 2-1. At the letters, but called high. It's a ball.
Couldn't be a whole lot better situation to hit in now. 3-1, 2 on. He's got to be thinking he's going to get a pitch he can drive right here.
On the ground to third. Devers fields it cleanly. Throw to first in time, and the big inning is avoided as the side is retired. A run on 2 hits here for Toronto. We'll move on to the bottom half of inning number 1. It's the Blue Jays 1 and the Red Sox nothing. Chase Anderson, a right-hander from the state of Texas, is the man on the mound here. Dan Plesac, what do you got?
Hey, you take a look at this guy's number. One of the things that jumps out at you is that ERA. It's into the 4s. But that doesn't necessarily indicate what kind of pitcher this guy is. If he brings his A game, he can shut anybody down. The problem he's had so far this season, he's been a little bit inconsistent. He's a better pitcher than that ERA over the 4s indicates.
He's ready. Here's the first offering. Alex Verdugo is in to start things off here as he looks at a called strike. It's 0-1. Guys, as the Jays take the field here tonight, they come in looking to make it 2 in a row as they were winners last time out.
Hey, they come into game 2 of this series riding high. A huge 1-run victory yesterday, able to do the little things to put them over the top. Hopefully that leads to some momentum in game 2. You got to cover the whole plate now after letting him steal 2 strikes on the inside half.
Belted high and deep into right center. Right fielder looking up, still going back. And goodbye. This one ain't coming back. So it's a solo home run to lead off the bottom of the first. Home run number 5 on the year. And with it, the Red Sox have tied it at 1.
Not a great way to start on the road as a pitcher. Give up a bomb to the leadoff hitter.
Rafael Devers, the next to bat.
The third baseman.
As he'll take a called strike here on a borderline pitch at strike 1. Devers is one of those prototypical left-handed bats that really excels against right-handed pitching. Sees the ball well coming from that side. And here's a curveball in the dirt that time for a ball. 1-1. And they'll run this one in on him, and he can't connect, so he finds himself down 1-2 now.
Not much you can do with that one. Tied him up in knots.
Set to deal on a ball and 2 strikes. Down the first baseline. Shaw has it, and he'll step on first himself for the out.
The designated hitter, J.D. Martinez.
And that'll bring up J.D. Martinez, looking for better results than last night when he went 0 for 4 in that one. First pitch coming. Here it is. In there for strike 1. 1 out, nobody on. Fastball misses inside. It's even at 1. The 1-1. High and deep down the left field line. And that will end up a foul ball. The 1-2.
At the ball.
Swing and a miss on the fastball that time. Out number 2.
This inning didn't get started the way he'd hoped with that home run, but I've got to give him credit for flushing it and coming back here to get strikeouts on the last 2 guys. He's acting like it didn't even happen before.
And that brings in Xander Bogaerts. As the first pitch misses to him, it's ball 1. And he's carrying a batting average of just over 300. So clearly he's been a productive player with the bat in his hand so far. Two balls and no strikes for Bogaerts.
Hey, you want to talk about being in the zone. This guy's been raking lately, and it all starts with his pitch selection. 2 great takes, and he's almost daring the pitcher just go ahead and challenge him.
2-1 after the foul ball there. 2 out, nobody on. Just off the outside that time, laid off for a ball. Andrew Benintendi would be next if they can keep this inning alive. The 3-1. Sharp ground ball to third. Oh, and he can't come up with it. In a close play at first, but he's called out and the side is retired. But the Red Sox tie things up on the solo homer. We'll head to the top of the second. All even now at 1-1. Stepping into the box, Kevin Biggio. He'll get us started in the top of the second.
Kevin Biggio.
Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch. Tried to check it, and it's 0-1. a check swing, but he holds up in time. Ball one. Biggio, a native Texan. He was a 5th-round pick back in the 2016 first-year player draft.
Hey, this middle round selection is still developing, but he's doing it at the big league level, and he has a lot of time to get his tool set ironed out.
Maybe a favorable call there, taken for a strike. And he looks at a cold strike 3 as the cut fastball's in there, and that's out number 1. Up next is Danny Jansen.
Number 9.
First delivery to him on the way. Bases are empty, 1 man out. And it looked like the fastball got away from him there. There's a ball low. He misses with a changeup. And that pitch comes over to catch the corner. It's 2-2 now.
2 balls, 2 strikes, a crucial count for both pitcher and hitter. So, Dan, what was your approach on the mound in that count? Do you still pitch for the strikeout here?
Action pitch right here, 2-2. The last thing you want to do is to fall behind and count 3-2.
And it's fouled away. Another full count pitch home. And he misses here for ball 4. Already 2 walks surrendered in his first couple of innings of work.
Well, this guy's been prone to giving up walks in bunches, and that's already 2 walks here in the early going. We'll see if this continues to be an issue for him as this start continues.
That'll bring up Billy McKinney. He did not play last night, but clearly back in the starting 9 for this one. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
Nope. That's inside.
Now the 2-0 home. Popped him up. Bogarts is there. 2 gone. Digging in to try it again. Bo Bichette. No official at bat for him, but he has scored a run in this one. First pitch of the at bat. Outside part of the plate. The changeup is in there. Taken, and that one catches the bottom part of the strike zone.
He's attacking this hitter a lot more aggressively than he did the first time when he faced him and issued a walk, coming right after him here.
The 0-2 delivery. Swing and a miss, and that ends the inning. 1 left for Toronto. We'll go to the bottom of the second, tied at 1. Last half of the second set to go, and that'll bring up the outfielder, Andrew Benintendi.
Andrew Benintendi.
Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch.
One and one.
Here it comes on 1-1. Grounded up the first baseline, but a foul ball. 1-2 now. Now here's the pitch. Hit down the line at first, but this is a foul ball as the count holds steady at 1-2. fastball swung on and hit to second. Scooped up. Throw on to first in time. 1 away.
All right, guys, time for a look at how the Toronto Blue Jays set up on defense today. And when you talk about third base, you talk about a step and a dive. But you better have something to go with it when you get to your knees. And that's what this guy has, an absolute howitzer.
Here's the first baseman now, Mitch Moreland. Now he goes the other way, and he got a lot of it high and deep to left center field. But it bangs off the out-of-town scoreboard.
Man, they already hit one home run, and I thought they had a second one right there. Not quite enough behind it, though, as it banged off the wall for a double. He's giving up a fair amount of solid contact right now.
So here's Michael Chavis now, and he's a guy really in need of something to click at the plate right now. It's been a rough go for him. Here comes the first pitch. Lower part of the zone, but it's taken for a strike. Now a fastball off the plate away, a ball and a strike. Runner at second here with 1 man out. Grounded weakly to the left. And that's the second out. Into the box, Jackie Bradley Jr. Runner in scoring position with 2 guns. First offering on its way. Here's a strike with the breaking ball. Bradley, or JBJ as the initials read. This is the final year of his current deal, so he'll be a free agent at season's end.
You know, Matty, I know he's in the final year of his contract.
A dive, but it's off his glove. And the throw to first is there. The inning is over. Some of our nation's young minds and future leaders here in attendance. Yikes. Back with more here on a Tuesday night after this. Top of the third set to get underway, and that'll give way to the third baseman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Skied into straightaway right. Verdugo waits on it. And he hauls it in for the first out of the inning. And with 1 away, time for a check of the standings in the American League East as you get a look at where these 2 teams find themselves entering play. Standing in, Lourdes Gurriel. It was a double for him in his first turn at the plate.
And he's got to build off that last AB. He battled. Usually when you battle, you get in that swing mode. A lot of pitches, you'll swing at the rosin bag. I love the fact that he was able to work a double in last at bat. Let's see if we get more of the same right here.
That one catches the edge of the zone, called the strike. 1 out, nobody on. Swing and a liner. And this is a fair ball as it makes its way out toward the monster.
Well, that's demoralizing right there. Nice job by the offensive player getting the head out. But that's got to upset you, thinking that ball might have went foul.
But you know what, you hear it all the time that the game baseball is a game of inches. 1 inch one way or the other could have been the difference between a foul ball and a base hit right over the third base bag.
Teoscar Hernandez digging in now as he'll take a look at ball 1. 0 for 1 for him here in this one. And he won't bite at that one either. It's 2-0.
Clearly working the bottom of the zone, trying to get a ground ball for a double play.
50th pitch of the game on its way.
3 balls, no strikes.
Checks his swing, but this pitch is right there for strike one.
You maybe get 2 pitches a game where all the guesswork goes out the window. This is certainly that situation.
The 3-1. And that misses ball 4, so it's first and second now with only 1 away.
Well, he's really laboring in the early going here. That's his 3rd walk of the game already. We'll see if he can get it together or if this is just one of those days where he's going to have to grind his way through this start.
So runners at first and second here with 1 away. And the big right-handed bat of Randall Grichuk saunters into the batter's box next. From the stretch.
Ball 1, no strikes.
Perfect time for a mound visit right here. Just give him a breather, a chance to collect himself and get back to work.
That evens it up 1-1. From the belt, the pitch.
Ball back down.
Man, he just missed the zone right there. One of the toughest pitches in the game, that backdoor cutter. As an offensive player, you give up on that pitch. As soon as it comes out of the hand, the next thing you know, it's trying to grab the corner.
Runners are at first and second with 1 away. Fouled off. Hit down the third baseline. But this is going to be a foul ball as that keeps things at 2-2. A full count, 3-2 to Randall Grichuk.
These are the kind of ABs, regardless of the outcome. You go back to the dugout as an offensive player, and your teammates are loving on you for making that pitcher work and battling it out.
He spoils another one, and will do it again.
I know the fans love the souvenirs, but the battle between the pitcher and batter right here is what makes the game great.
High in the air out towards shallow right. Verdugo waits on it, and that's the second out of the inning. The throw is wild, and it gets away. But luckily, it doesn't get far enough away to allow the runners to advance. Ready for another chance? Travis Shaw. 2 on, 2 out for him here in the third. Trying to hang a 0. Here's the pitch. And he lays off there 1-0. Two down, runners at first and second. That'll be a souvenir, and the count will move to 1-1. Swing and a miss, and it's a ball and 2 strikes here. Had to sit back on the changeup, and he did a good job to get the bat on that one. Down the first baseline, and this gets right through him, and that may be a run. The run scores from second. It's now a 2-1 ball game. The tag, and they'll get him at second, and with that, the side is retired. So a run on 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. We'll head now to the home half of inning number 3. The Jays lead it 2-1. Here's the catcher, Francisco Cervelli. As he will take strike 1 on the fastball here. No balls and a strike. And he's a guy looking to break out in a big way. Hasn't been getting the results he or his club have been hoping for. And this catches the inside corner. Good spot there. It's 0-2.
I get it. He wants to see this guy's repertoire, but now he's behind in the count. Puts himself in a tough spot to hit.
Now the fastball is right by him as he swings and misses for the first out of the inning.
This is what a power pitcher will do to you if he executes his pitches. That was a 3-pitch strikeout, and with the kind of stuff that he has, it's not uncommon for him to absolutely dominate certain guys.
And the next up will be Alex Verdugo. As he takes a called strike on the black, it's 0-1. He'll look to duplicate his first at-bat when he homered to open the inning. The windup and the 0-1.
That's a ball.
A 2-1 score here as we play inning number 3. And a half swing here, but this is in there for a called strike 2. And he'll lay off the curveball that's in the dirt that time, and it's back to even now at 2-2. And the pitch. And a fastball swung on and missed as he just reared back there. 2 away.
With how hard guys throw these days, 94 miles an hour is good, but not as impressive as it used to be. Professional hitters can catch up with that, so it's all about setting the fastball up with good off-speed stuff to make it look more effective, and that's exactly what he did right there.
Here now is Rafael Devers. As he'll take a look at the pitch too low, it's ball 1. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far. The 1-0. Fouled away. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Down low, 2 balls and a strike.
I don't blame him for not coming over the heart of the plate. He circled this guy on the lineup card when he got to the yard today. He's been swinging one of the hotter bats in the game.
All even now, 2-2. Three and 2 the count for Rafael Devers.
Not a time to fool around right now on a 3-2 count with the middle part of the order coming up. Expect a good pitch to swing at.
And he struck him out. So a fine inning here as he strikes out the side in order. 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts. Not too shabby. Don't go anywhere. More Tuesday Night Baseball after this. Back now at Fenway Park, and here's Heidi Watney with a report.
Thanks, Matt. In between innings, I was able to catch up with the manager of the Blue Jays to discuss his thoughts on his team's lineup so far. And flat out, he was very pleased with the quality of their at-bats. They've already worked out 3 walks, so he feels as though that kind of willingness to let the opposition work themselves into trouble will continue to result in good things for them on the scoreboard.
Good stuff, Heidi. Thanks. Digging in, Kevin Biggio comes into this at-bat 0 for 1 in the ball game.
Kevin Biggio.
First pitch on its way. Starts him out with a changeup for a strike. Good cutter there, and he's got him behind the 8 ball now. 0-2.
You got to go into battle mode after falling down 0-2 and find a way to work yourself back to even.
Oh, and they pulled a string on a good changeup there as he swings and misses, and he's set down on strikes for the 2nd time tonight.
Wow, that's one of the toughest pitches in baseball to hit, right? That good straight changeup, El Cambio. There's not much you can do with that. You're going off of that arm speed, and the ball, it just doesn't get there.
At the plate now, Danny Jansen. As he'll take a look at a high strike that time. It's 0-1. Fourth inning of a 2-1 ball game. A swinging strike, and now it's 0-2. A 1-2 count to the Blue Jays signal caller. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Line drive to center field. But sadly for him, this will head straight to the center fielder as he puts it away without much trouble for the second out.
Billy McKinney.
Standing in, Billy McKinney. He's 0 for 1 thus far. Infield shifted well to the right. Here's the first pitch. 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors in the game for Toronto. That misses wide. 1 ball and 1 strike. And he misses 2-1. And he pulled up in time, but it's a called strike 2.
2 strikes.
3 balls and 2 strikes to the Blue Jays center fielder.
Well, he really needs to make this guy swing the bat right here. He's not the type of hitter you want to dance around with.
And he takes ball 4. So a good job out of the 9-hole in getting on base as we go back to the top of the order.
Number 11. Shortstop. Bo.
So the batting order turns over now and set to go Bo Bichette. He was sat down on strikes in his last at-bat.
Yeah, but it was a good changeup, Matty. Good arm action on that pitch. Look for him to try and stay back a little bit more. Let the ball get a little deeper. Don't be shocked if this pitcher tries to rush a heater right here.
The 1-0 is swung on and missed, and that's strike 1. And some action now in the Boston bullpen as a right-hander's up and throwing. He's set. Here comes the 1-1. 2 out with the man at first. Swung on, and he went fishing in the dirt. Cervelli corrals it, but he's not going to have a play, and they'll allow him to reach first after the strikeout. And not what he wanted to do there, as now they'll need 4 outs to get out of this inning. Ready once again, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He flew out in his last at-bat. From the belt, kicks and deals. And he pours this one in at the letters, 0-1. 2 men are on with 2 men out. Oh, and he's really getting the better of him now. It's strike 2.
Hey, down in the count 0-2, I'd like to see a little choke and poke right here. Maybe work it up the middle or opposite field with 2 strikes.
Weak grounder back to the mound. Throw on to first is in time, and the Toronto rally goes for naught as the inning is over. Blue Jays leave a pair. They still lead it 2-1. Here's J.D. Martinez. He starts off the inning against a guy who struck out the side last inning. How do they get to him here?
I'm not sure, Matt, that they want to stay as patient. He's been throwing a lot of strikes. They might want to start swinging a little bit earlier in the count.
First pitch coming. Here it is. The windup and the 0-1.
Nope, that's the ball.
If you're going to have success against some of the better hitters in the game, you've got to get that pitch right there. 0-2, he's almost certainly out. 1-1, he's got a chance to really do some damage.
Now here's the pitch. 1-2 as the changeup had him out in front there.
Hey, he's got great feel for that pitch right there. He can throw it anytime he wants for a strike.
And that's a swinging strike 3 in the dirt. And he makes the throw to first. Martinez is retired, and there's one away.
The batter, number 2.
Boy, he's really on a roll on the hill right now. As we roll through it again, remember, he struck out the side in the last inning, and now he picks up right where he left off by striking off the leadoff man here. Let's see if he can keep this going for a little bit.
So now it'll be the 4-hole hitter, Xander Bogaerts. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
Man, he's looking sharp so far. 80% of his first pitches are for strikes. He might be able to go the distance if he keeps this up.
And now a curveball that bounces up to the plate. It's 1-1. And he fouls this one off. 1 run, 2 hits, and 1 error on the Boston line score. Reaches out for one and hits it on the ground to second. He's got it. Throw in time at first for out number 2. In now, Andrew Benintendi. He got on top of one and was a ground out victim last time. First pitch of the at-bat on its way. And, looked inside, but that's ruled a strike. 0-1.
Man, this guy's in a good groove right now. 7 straight retired. He's locked in.
2 out, nobody on. That misses wide. 1 ball and 1 strike. Two balls and a strike. The 2-1. Takes a pass and misses. That's strike 2. Just hung in there on that one. Now another 2-2. Now a swing at a ball popped in the air back behind short. And Bichette's got it. The side is retired. Red Sox go down 1-2-3. Our score remains 2-1. Jose Arena will come on now to make his 30th appearance of the year so far.
Number 62.
Next to bat for Toronto, Lourdes Gurriel. He doubled earlier and carries a 2-for-2 line into this appearance. First pitch of the at-bat. And it looked like the fastball got away from him there.
Hey, if you're going to throw a pitch like that to this guy, that's right where you want to miss. Any lower, and he'll probably make you pay for it.
Grounded up the first baseline. The 1-1 home. Now a ball swung on and heading for the stands in right, and that'll move the count to 1-2 now.
You're lucky if you get 1 pitch a night right down the middle. Cannot be late on that fastball.
He dives. Did he catch that? He did. What a play there for the first out.
Now that designated hitter, Teoscar Hernandez.
So the bases are empty with 1 man gone. And striding into the plate next will be Teoscar Hernandez. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. 5th inning, 2-1 our score. Well below the knees, laid off on the changeup there. lifted down the line in left. And this will wind up a foul ball. Now the 2-1.
Hey!
Got him swinging. Chased it well out of the zone, and there are 2 gone.
Well, it's been a rough series for him at the plate so far. That's 4 strikeouts in the first 2 games, so this pitching staff clearly has him figured out.
Here's Randall Grichuk. As the first pitch to him is a changeup that can't find the zone. It's ball 1. He's 1 for 2 in this one. And he misses low with it. 2-0. Line shot to second, but it's caught and the side is retired. 1-2-3 go the Blue Jays as they're unable to add to their 2-1 lead. Welcome back for the bottom of the 5th. Here's Heidi Watney.
Thanks, Matt. During the commercial break, I talked about the Red Sox offense with the Boston manager. And one thing he mentioned to me was the lack of discipline he's seeing out of their at-bats right now. A lot of their outs have come from weak contact and strikeouts as a result of chasing pitches outside the strike zone. He said it's going to be extremely important for them going forward to be more selective with their swings and force the opposition to throw more strikes.
Thank you, Heidi.
Leading off.
Set now for the bottom of the 5th, and that'll bring up a former Gold Glover, the first baseman, Mitch Moreland. Now here's the pitch. And a ball 1-0.
Hey, I hope that call doesn't throw him off his game right here. He's been pitching one heck of a game, and I'd hate to see the umpire get in his head right now.
Now the 1-0. His fastball taken high for a ball. Moreland playing here in his age 34 season. He was a 17th round pick back in the draft of 2007.
I know this guy wouldn't go into the category of superstar, but to grind out the career he has being drafted where he was, my hat's off to him.
A swing and a miss there. 2-2.
There's a pitch we haven't seen in a while. It's going to be tough on the hitters if they have to incorporate that into their mindset.
And this misses, so that'll fill the count at 3-2.
Looked to me like he tried to do way too much on that 2-2 pitch. You don't have to come into the zone on that count, but a pitch that far outside isn't going to tempt anyone to swing.
Now the 3-2 pitch. High in the air down the right field line. And foul. Now a hard liner, but foul. And he can only battle for so long as he's finally set down here after an 8-pitch at-bat.
That swing tells me he was really trying to get a pitch out front and rip it down the line, but that wasn't a great pitch to do it on. It's really not the best two-strike approach either.
At the plate, Michael Chavis. As the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike 1. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. Here's a breaking ball outside, and now it's even 1-1.
Hey, struggling to find the release point of that curveball. That wasn't a very good one. Somehow he's just got to find that feel because that's a pitch he's going to need going forward.
Hit in the air down the right field line. But this is just going to wind up being a foul ball. The 1-2 is swung on and missed. He got him.
Well, you can tell by their approach that they're going to go up there and try to be aggressive off this guy, but he's taking full advantage of that. He's pounding the zone with strikes, and right now we're seeing a lot of swings and misses and a lot of strikeouts and no walks either.
Here's Jackie Bradley now, as he'll take one up in the zone, but indeed in the strike zone for the first strike. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far.
Nope.
Down and away, ball 1. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. And it's 1-2. Now the pitch. The bouncer to the left side. Reined in. Throw in the dirt, but a good scoop at first saves an error as this side is retired. Down in order go the Red Sox. They still trail it here 2-1. New inning set to get underway, and next to bat will be the first baseman, Travis Shaw.
Number 6, Travis Shaw.
And the pitch. And he'll start the inning with a pitch that misses off the plate. It's ball 1. And a good spot for that pitch as it's chopped foul. And it's fouled away. The 1-2 gets him looking up around the letters. Striding into the box, Kevin Biggio. He'll look to bounce back after striking out his last time up.
Yeah, and he didn't put up much of a fight either, Matty. Got to find a way. Can't go down 3 pitches. I don't care if you're staring at him or swinging at him. You have to find a way to make this pitcher work a little bit harder.
0-1, here it comes. Here is a ground ball now for the shortstop to the right of second. On to Moreland, and that's in time for the second out.
Now batting.
Stepping in for the Jays, Danny Jansen. Hit the ball pretty well in his last at-bat, but it resulted in a line out.
Yeah, Matty, but as he walks to the plate right here, he feels good building off that last AB. He hit that ball on the screws.
Ball 1, no.
And this is off the corner and low, ball 1. Low-scoring game thus far, 2-1 here in the 6th. Fastball just a bit low here. He's behind 2-0 now. And here's a fastball for a strike. 2-1 now. Breaking ball called just a bit low. Billy McKinney would be next. The 3-1. And this is taken low for ball 4, and they'll have themselves a 2-out base runner here after all.
The center fielder, number 28, Billy.
Digging in, Billy McKinney. It was a walk in his last trip. He's ready. Here's the first offering. And a called strike down in the zone, 0-1. This year against right-handed pitching, McKinney brings a batting line of barely over 200, so there's certainly some room for improvement there.
He'd be the first to tell you he's not happy with his batting average this season, but he can beat you in a variety of different ways, and he has to because he wouldn't be here otherwise.
0-2 count. Here's the pitch. And he comes back with a fastball. Strike 3 called, and the inning is over. Blue Jays held in check. They lead it 2-1. So striding in, Francisco Cervelli.
He'll start things out in the 6th for a lineup that really hasn't found its groove in this one.
Yeah, only 2 hits so far, Matt, and not very many hard hit balls either. We'll see if they can start making some adjustments.
First delivery to him on the way. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. Ball 1. Now some definite signs of life in that Toronto bullpen. Both a lefty and a right-hander begin to throw. Here's the 1-1 pitch. High fly ball out to straightaway center. McKinney is there, and he has it for the first out. So the lineup flips over, and digging in, Alex Verdugo. A hit and 2 at-bats for him at this point in the ballgame. Here comes the first pitch. And that misses, ball 1. And Verdugo goes in front. 2 balls and no strikes.
Maybe a bit of an overthrow there, guys. May have let that front side open up a little early to try to pump up on a fastball and sailed on it.
3-0 to him now.
Hey.
3-1.
I got 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike.
And a fastball misses there, ball 4.
Well, he loses him there, but that's just the first walk he's given up, along with a couple of hits, so his command has been pretty solid so far.
Coming to the plate now, Rafael Devers. 0 for 2 from him so far in this one. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. Tried to check it, and it's 0-1. Fastball misses inside. It's even at 1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Runners on first with 1 down. Hit back toward the mound. Fielded cleanly. Step on the bag for 1. On to first. It's a double play. As their woes continue, the inning is over. So they go down without a whimper here. 7th inning coming up. It's the Blue Jays 2 and the Red Sox 1. All set for the start of the inning. And in to bat next, the legacy Bo Bichette.
Bo Bichette.
First offering on its way. Ball 1. And now the Red Sox will get a left-hander up and throwing in the bullpen. Into his windup. Here comes the 1-0. And here's a slider that runs inside that time, and that'll keep him from diving out over the plate.
You know, sometimes it takes a pitcher a few pitches to get going, but those 2 pitches weren't even close. Ball's behind in the count, 2-0. It's time to start getting locked in.
Popped him up. Moreland in foul ground, and no one will track it down. Now the 2-1 pitch. Hit down the line at first. And that's under his glove. Oh, he picked his head up, and it's into right field.
Sometimes you just got to trust your hands. That pitch probably wasn't even in the zone, and he was able to fight it off for a base hit.
Guerrero Jr.
plate now, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Offered and missed. Here's the throw.
Not in time as he steals second.
90 feet is a big deal when you're talking about a one-run game, so that's a little risky. But hey, sometimes you have to be aggressive and force the other team to stop you.
Comes set with the 0-1.
You have one job in this situation, especially down 0-2. You have to find a way to advance that runner to third and give your teammate a chance to drive something into the outfield. You cannot not come through in this situation.
But this is yanked down out there at shortstop for the first out.
Striding in, Lourdes Gurriel. 2 for 3 with a double on his line so far.
First pitch on its way.
Ball 1. Looking at his career totals, Gurriel carries a hitting line just over the 280 plateau. (2-0) to the Jays left fielder.
Non-competitive pitch right there, runs the count to 2-0, and he is ready to do some damage in the box.
From the stretch. Outside, 3-0 now.
Every base runner in a close game like this really matters, so you can't afford to be giving out free passes this late.
We're in the 7th inning now of a pitcher's duel. 2-1 our score. And there's a strike as he'll try to work his way back. It's 3-1. Now here's a check swing, and they appeal down to first. No swing, so that's ball 4.
Oh, man, that check swing was about as close as they get. Tough call for the umpire, but it goes the batter's way this time, and he draws the walk.
Coming forward now, the Toronto designated hitter, Teoscar Hernandez. He struck out swinging in his last trip to the plate.
From the stretch, here's the pitch. Oh, it's on the ground to second. Did he get his double play? One there. Relay to first in time, and just like that, this side is retired. 4-6-3. They roll it up to get out of the jam. Back with more here on a Tuesday night after this. The Red Sox DH, J.D. Martinez. He'll lead things off here in this one-run contest. First delivery to him on the way. In need of a quick inning here, but he starts this one with a ball. It's 1-0.
Man, this guy's had their number all game long. Up, down, in and out. He's pitching very well.
The 1-0. A ball and 2 strikes now. The 1-2. Liner towards second. And that'll be a base hit. So right away, the possible tying run is aboard to start the bottom of the 7th.
Hey, they say in this game you better have a short memory. Well, that's obviously the case with this batter. He came into that third at bat after getting his ticket punched twice. He was able to get a save.
Here comes a Toronto skipper out toward the pitcher's mound. And he's going to motion for his bullpen here. That'll do it for the starter tonight. So he'll depart with the lead and a chance to be the winner, but he is responsible for the tying run at first. Thomas Pannone comes on now, and he'll take over with nobody out in inning number 7.
Number 45.
Here's Xander Bogaerts now, as he lines it hard to the right side, but out of play. 0 for 2 for him to this point. Ready with the 0-1. Maybe trying to back him up a bit there with the fastball. Turned on that one and crushed it. Just pulled it a little foul. A runner at first with no outs here. Misses. Ball 2.
He might have to look for a different way to put this guy away on 2-2. He's already seen the curveball a couple of times, so he might be looking for it.
Hoping to send him packing. Pitch on its way. Breaking ball well inside and taken for ball 3.
Well, the 1-2 pitch didn't go his way, and now a miss there on 2-2. You know he doesn't want this at bat to get away from him, so I think we're going to see a challenge pitch on a full count.
Now the 3-2 pitch. Here's a shot to left field and deep. Look at this. Gone. A 2-run shot that gives them the lead. It's a 2-run shot to straightaway left. Home run number 16 for him on the year, as the Red Sox have taken a 3-2 lead.
That's one of those pitches you wish you could take back as soon as it leaves your hand. But guess what? There are no delete or rewind buttons in baseball. That's a mistake, and it was a good job by his opponent to make him pay for it.
The left-handed hitting Andrew Benintendi stands in, as he'll try to hold back on the swing, but he went around for the first strike. No hits to this point. That's over, but low. It's a ball and a strike. Bases are empty here. Nobody out. Skied into very shallow right. There to play it is Grichuk, and that's the first out. Now to the plate, Mitch Moreland. He's working on a 1-for-2 game so far. First pitch coming. Here it is. As anticipated, here's a ground ball now to the right side. And, oh, the throw pulls the first baseman off the bag, and he'll reach it first. So that'll go down as an E4, as he certainly had his problems that time at second base. So it's a runner at first as a result of the throwing error. And that'll bring in the second baseman, Michael Chavis. Here comes the first pitch. Maybe a little jumpy there as he swings through the fastball. Runner at first here, 1 man out. Can't find the zone there as he lays off the breaking ball.
That one looked like it could easily have gone the other way. There's a big difference between 0-2 and 1-1, but now this next pitch probably becomes the biggest of the at-bat.
No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike.
Sometimes it can be difficult for a pitcher. You're facing a guy that's not known to be a big stick in the lineup. Sometimes the toughest thing is to be aggressive and throw strikes.
Now the 2-1. Hit well down the left field line, but back into the crowd, foul. The 2-2. Oh, on the ground to first. Can this be 2? The second for 1. On to first as they get the double play to get him out of the inning. For the Red Sox strike for 2 on the 2-run homer. 7 complete here tonight, and Boston's taken a 3-2 lead. Matt Barnes has been summoned from the bullpen as he'll do so to start the 8th.
Number 32, Matt.
So coming to the plate, Verdugo. He lined out in his last trip, so looking for better fortunes here.
Yeah, Matty, it's always a little frustrating when you square one up. You hit a solid line drive like he did, and all you have to show for it is a jog back to the dugout. That can get in your head for a little while.
0-1 the count. Down and away, ball one. And this one's up around the eyes, 2-1. A little early, and now it's even at 2-2. Now here's the pitch. Swing and a miss as he ran the fastball right by him for the first down.
People always talk about how important getting the leadoff man on base is, and it's true. So in the 8th inning of a one-run game, that's a really nice job of attacking a hitter and sending him packing.
So digging in next will be Travis Shaw, as he'll look at a breaking ball that misses for ball one. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. Pitch taken several inches below the zone, in fact. Three and 0 now. Cavan Biggio waits on deck. Now the 3-0 offering. This one, everything we could have hoped for. 3-2 in inning number 8. Called strike, and that'll run it full.
Count is full. 3-2.
And he strikes him out as well. So make it back-to-back punch-outs here to the first 2 men he faces out of the bullpen.
No problems for him on the mound since he's come out of the pen to start this inning. That's back-to-back Ks, and he's making it look pretty easy. This has the makings of a good outing so far.
Standing in now, Cavan Biggio, as he'll look at a fastball in there on the outer half. It's 0-1. He could really use a knock here. 0 for 3 in the game so far. Tying run at the plate, the 0-1.
1-1.
2 out, nobody on. Keeping it down here as it's to 1-2.
He's 1 pitch away from striking out the side, but even more than that, to throw a donut up after your offense put up some runs, I can't tell you what that means to the boys in the dugout.
Got him, and he goes down on strikes for the 3rd time. Blue Jays go down in order. Still a 3-2 ball game. Anthony Bass is on to pitch out of the bullpen in the bottom half of the 8th.
Number 52, Anthony Bass.
Bottom of the inning now, and in to hit next, it'll be the left-handed batter Jackie Bradley Jr.
The center fielder, Jackie.
Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. Lays off 1-0.
Oh, that's a tough call for Blue right there. Either way you call it, somebody doesn't like it. But hey, That's the life of an umpire.
But that finds the first baseman's glove, and that's a tough first out.
The batter, the catcher, Francisco.
Ready for another shot now, Francisco Cervelli. It was a flyout for him in his last trip. Here's the first pitch to him. Hit on the ground out to short. Bichette picks it up cleanly. And he's going to beat the offline throw to first as the first baseman couldn't get the foot back in time.
Man, there's just no excuse for a middle infielder to make a play like that, especially your shortstop. Looked like a routine play, but for some reason, he just pulled the first baseman off the bag. It happens, but you never want to give a team extra outs.
So the Red Sox lineup turns over, and to the plate, Alex Verdugo. He comes in 1 for 2 with that home run he hit earlier. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. And a high strike to begin the at-bat. It's 0-1. Bass, a native of the state of Michigan. He was a 5th-round pick during the 2008 draft.
Hey, nothing has been handed to this guy. Drafted in the middle rounds, and he has found his way in the big leagues. This has turned out to be a really nice pick.
Grounded softly down the line toward first. But this will be a foul ball as he's behind 0-2 now. That misses 1-2.
So the intent of that 0-2 cutter right there isn't necessarily to get a swinging strike. If you get it, well, hey, that's great. But if you get it inside enough and he does make contact, he probably can't do anything with it anyway.
The 1-2 misses, ball 2. Slowly hit to first. I don't think they can get 2. To second for 1. Return throw is in time. How about that? They do turn 2, and it gets him out of the inning. So no runs or hits here as the error turns out to be unimportant. We've played 8 full. It's the Red Sox 3, the Blue Jays 2. Brandon Workman comes on from the pen, hoping to finish this one off here in the top of the 9th.
Number 44, Brandon
Reese McGuire will pinch hit here, and he's the potential tying run. Ninth inning underway now as the first pitch is taken for a called strike. He comes in with that average down in the 240s. 4 home runs, 27 driven in. He looks like he's toying with him here. It's 0-2. Fastball called, strike 3, and there's the first out of the inning.
When your closer comes in and strikes out the first guy he faces, everyone on the team can kind of take a deep breath. Still have 2 more outs to get, but retiring that leadoff guy is always huge when you're trying to shut a game down.
And now a pitch on the way. Billy McKinney comes on with 1 gone here as he looks at a called strike 1. Good breaking ball there, laid off for the second strike. And smart to lay off there as the fastball misses. It's 1-2 now.
Man, a pitcher let the guy off easy right there. That 0-2 pitch wasn't even close. I'd rate that as a non-competitive pitch.
One and 2, here it comes. One-run game here in the top of the 9th. And he strikes him out as well. So make it back-to-back punch-outs here to the first 2 men he faces out of the bullpen.
Well, you have to feel pretty confident about the way this one's going to end up as a manager. 2 hitters, 2 strikeouts from the closer. There's not a whole lot more he can do to instill confidence that he's going to wrap this thing up without any problem.
Digging in and looking for more, Bo Bichette. First 2 men in the inning have both gone down via the punch-out, so we'll see if he can fare any better.
And he begins the at-bat with a knuckle curve looked at for strike one. Workman, a native Texan. He was taken in the second round back in the 2010 first-year player draft.
Yeah, he has turned himself into a really nice ball player. I wouldn't put him on a superstar level, but you know what? They didn't miss with this pick either. You go into high rounds and you carve out a career the way this guy has, nice pick. You can definitely tell with that foul off right there that he's picking up spin on it.
And a swing and a miss as they definitely had him reaching for that one, and this ball game is over.
Hey, it always feels good to win a baseball game, but when you can win one at home in front of your home crowd, all those fans cheering, this is a good win for this team.
3-2 the finish in tonight's game. The Boston Red Sox earn the victory despite only collecting 4 total hits. Jose Arena claims the win out of the pen, his first. Brandon Workman closes the door for the save, his 32nd of the season. So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa, Dan Klezak, Heidi Wackney, and our entire crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to theshownation.com.